this is Matt Hutchinson. I hope you're keeping really, really well. Now listen, I wanted to share a few things with you today about myself. A number of people have contacted me and wanted to know a little bit more about who I am and what I do. And I just thought I'd put a video together to be able to share that with you. And also I wanted to test out a new system that I'm using for my business. Now, firstly, I'm a 42-year-old father of 3 beautiful children. And I grew up in a seaside resort on the east coast of England called Great Yarmouth, where I had my first taste of the beach and the sea, which was absolutely brilliant. And ever since I left that place, I wanted to go back and live by the sea. I joined the Air Force, the Royal Air Force, at the age of 18, where I was privileged enough to be able to travel to some places like the Falkland Islands and Gibraltar. And it's whilst I was in Gibraltar, I actually had my first taste of personal development. I actually was given a copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Wonderful book. If you've never read it, I would encourage you to read this book. Now obviously this was a book at the beginning of a journey that's still going on to this day. Now the most important thing that came from that book was the fact of what was the worst thing that could happen. And when you put that into context, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be better off than you ever thought that you were going to be. And the reason why I was given this book, because a serious incident happened whilst I was out there, and basically it kind of made me draw a line underneath some of the things I was not willing to accept for myself and for those around me. So I went on this personal development journey. I had a thirst for knowledge, and I wanted to find out more about what personal development was. And I eventually started going into bookshops and kind of picking up books by Tony Robbins and Napoleon Hill, Ken Blanchard, great authors like that. But I didn't know why I was going in and picking these books up, and purchasing them. All I knew was that I just had this thirst for knowledge and I wanted to read. And I had I had faith. After reading some of these books, I knew that I had to change and do something different, as I said. And eventually, I found flower selling, which was a fantastic business for me. And it was a real passion and a privilege to be able to work in that kind of environment. Very hard, harder than what a lot of people think, but a very beautiful environment. Now, nearly 8 years ago, my family was nearly ripped apart by another defining moment in my life. As well as my family's life. My youngest daughter, Poppy May, was born 16 weeks premature, 1.5 pounds, about the kind of size of my hand. You could actually see the blood vessels and the veins through her skin. Her skin was that thin. Now I was working at the time. I was working 80, 90 hours a week, running around like a headless chicken. And when this kind of happened, I just knew that time had changed for me, and it wasn't about money, it was about a lifestyle. I wanted to create a different lifestyle for myself, and I knew that I had to do something different, and I knew that I had to find a new system. So I went on a quest to find a suitable vehicle. As I said, this wasn't about money, this was all about lifestyle. And I was close, and those close to me just didn't understand. Like they saw me at home, and I kind of used to get comments like, when are you going to get a job? A job, just over broke, and it wasn't about that for me. It was about being able to spend time with my family, with my children, being able to take them to school, and also, I wanted to look after Poppy May, after her coming out of hospital. Now, eventually, I went to university in an attempt to reinvent myself and look for inspiration. So what happened next? Well, I decided that I wanted to take responsibility, and by going to university, this enabled me to be able to pick up the kids, as I said, and take them to and from school, which was was absolutely brilliant. Being able to do that. Although it still wasn't enough, I wanted more. I desired more. Now my relationship with my ex-wife was starting. We attempted to reconcile the relationship, but it still wasn't going where we both wanted it to go, and eventually it broke down to the point where really we were living in the same house, but we weren't really communicating, and it was very difficult sometimes to have a decent conversation from both sides. And one day I was sitting at my computer, I had this real epiphany. I've been asking myself for months and months and months, if not years, what my life's purpose was. And like a bolt of lightning, out of the blue, it came to me one day whilst I was, as I say, sat at my computer. I had to help, support and coach 100,000 people to become time and financially free. I needed to step up, I needed to become that person I wanted to see in the world. And I saw this epiphany as a way of being able to create a compelling future for others, and in turn being able to create that lifestyle that I've been manifesting for all this time. I eventually took the courage and a leap of faith to actually move out of the family home, which I can tell you to this day is still, it was a hard decision to make, and it still hurts even now. And after taking a look intrinsically and deciding to take care of myself first before being able to take care of anybody else, I needed to find a suitable system to enable me to create that lifestyle for others and ultimately for myself. Now I found that system, and I'm now in the process of building a 5-figure a month income. And with the help and support of my peer group, that's gonna turn into a 6 and even 7-figure a month. I'm weighing these teeth in for someone, you'll have to excuse me, on a monthly basis. Sometimes I even have to pinch myself even daily now to how fast I actually was able to create and brand myself and actually build my new business. So I'm actually actively looking for individuals who want to create time and financial freedom for themselves. Now, if what I said has resonated with you at some point, you have to excuse my camera is actually moving whilst I'm talking. You have to excuse me, sorry. Oh, and even to the point that so is my computer. Please bear with me whilst I just have a little bit of a technical hitch here. Oh, that's better. Sorry about that, folks. Let's get back to where we were. So if that's resonated with you, please feel free to contact me using the details at the end of this video. Even if you just want to have a chat, feel free, please. So in closing, I'm an ordinary guy who made a decision to do something in an extraordinary way. And I wanted to create change for myself and those around me who I come in contact with, being able to help them create a better lifestyle. So we could all, do the things that we want to do. So when I actually see, for me personally, when I see my children, of being able to see them and they can see that their dad is having a great time. Quite simple, really. And you know what? You can have the same too. So finally, you now have a choice. You can carry on living the way that you're living, or if you want, you can take the necessary action and get in touch. Making today the first day of the rest of your life. It's now down to you. Now, this has been Matt Hutchinson. I hope you've understood and appreciated, my kind of little journey that I've gone along over this 42 years. I really appreciate the time that you spent listening, and I hope that you're having an amazing day, and I look forward to speaking to you again real soon. You take care. Thank you.